All right, what is up? It's your boy, fresh off getting reposted by Hiller Fit 2.0. I am now Hyrox's biggest troll, Matt Mason. And today, I am joined by the opposite of Hyrox's biggest troll. Some say she's everybody's biggest cheerleader. She's the people's fan, the people's champ, the fastest RMR runner on the Jersey Shore. We got Michelle Navarre. Michelle, how we doing?
What's up? I like that. I definitely am a big cheerleader. I'm just a huge fan of the sport in general, no matter how fast you are. It's just great to be involved in it.
And you know what? Some of us got absolutely starched in Dallas. So we are very happy to know that you are a fan of people, regardless of their time. Because if you weren't, you'd hate my ass after what happened to me in Dallas. And not to be outdone, we've got the other half of the mixed doubles RMR team, the stats guy for DEKA, Hyrox. He's probably got stats on Deadly Dozen. That's right. We got Jack Bauer. Jack, how we doing?
What's up, Matt? I thought you were going to say that I'm not the troll, because I definitely have been known to do that.
You know what, Jack? We like to banter back and forth. I would never call you a troll. The only two people
I'm an informed troll. I don't just like try to get a rise out of
Not
people.
just saying stuff.
I'm doing it like because I believe in it.
Yeah, you know, that's fair. That's fair. Whereas I feel like I have to take on the Stephen A role here, and I got to just say things even if I don't believe them, you know, because we got to get the conversation going. But nevertheless, I digress. How you doing though, Jack? How you feeling?
I'm doing pretty well, but there was one comment. You just mentioned Stephen A, and I just wanted to read this out from last when we had Greg on and we were doing our power rankings.
Oh boy, here we go.
So this is on YouTube. Do you remember seeing that, Michelle?
Yes.
Okay. For some reason, it is not loading. This is driving me crazy. But basically, somebody. Now it's on here. I'm almost always on board with Jack and his data, but someone needs to know if he had a concussion before this show. So that was quite the call out right there.
Look,
Calling
people,
you out, Jack.
People want to know, dude. People want to know.
No concussion. Did not happen. Although crazy enough, I did get in a rollerblading accident a couple of years. This weekend, my boss got into a rollerblading accident.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
No concussion for either of us. But I'm like, how the heck does that happen at a company with like 20 people? Two of us get hurt like that.
That's, I mean, honestly, you should buy a lottery ticket.
Very specific way to get hurt.
I know.
That's a very specific way to get hurt. All right.
Matt, how'd your race go? We got to talk about that
Yeah,
first.
let's talk about it.
We've all had bad races. Don't shy away from it.
Some say that my race never began. I honestly, like, I don't have any excuses. I don't know what happened. I got starched. My running was bad from the beginning. I was running about 30 seconds slower than marathon pace. So like something was off. That was like always the plan, was to like start a little bit more conservative, but I just never had any giddy up. The sled push, I was about 10 seconds slower than I normally am, but it felt like it cost me like 10 times what it normally cost me. The sled pull, I got waxed. I mean, it just like, it wasn't good. And then coming off of that, I also noticed something. I was talking about this with a couple of buddies this morning. I was lapping. So I've obviously done enough of these now. I was hitting the lap button when I crossed the timing mat to go out. And then I wasn't hitting it again until I crossed the timing mat to come in. And I thought I was running, not that it matters because I didn't have any juice, but I thought that I was running 410s to 420s, which is much slower than what Jack and I had figured I needed to run anyway. So like, it was already bad. Like it was already bad, but I was like, okay, I'm at least like within striking distance. The way that the runs came out on the Hyrox official results page was like 10 to 20 seconds slower than what I was clocking each time, so I'm not saying that played a role in it, because I just got, like I said, I got starched. I don't have any excuses. I don't know if it was because I traveled back-to-back weekends. I don't know if my central nervous system was just like overloaded.
I was going to ask if you felt under the weather at all. Like, did it aerobically feel difficult to like breathe?
No, not breathe, but everything felt bad. I got caught up in the crazy weather on Thursday. I was supposed to get into Dallas about 9. I went to bed at 2:30. And for all of those parents out there, my body just like naturally woke up at 6, and I was like, "You got to be freaking kidding me!" And I couldn't fall asleep the rest of the day. I thought my nutrition was fine. I kept it easy. I just hung out with Chase all day. Chase is in a small group with Jack and Michelle, so they know him. But yeah, it just didn't go well. And I think the thing that I'm like most bummed about, that I'm sure people that are listening can probably relate to, is I think I'm fine with the fact that it didn't go well. Like, that's racing. You're not always going to show up and have your A game. I think the thing that I'm mostly disappointed in was I had a shot to still PR. I could have gotten a sub 70, which is what that would have been like my C goal, but like it would have gotten out of the 70 club. And I didn't need like a ridiculous wall ball time. I think I needed like a 4:15, 4:20. And wall balls are typically like something that I'm pretty decent at and have gotten a lot better at in training. But gang, I just gave up. Like, I just straight up, I got in there and I just gave up. I did 25 and broke, and I didn't really need to. But I was like, I'll just break here. I'll do 4 sets of 25. And then I picked it up for the second set, and I was like, F that. I'm going to do 10, 15. And then I was like, okay, well, I'm at 40. So like, let's just get the 50. And then I got the 50 and then realized like I basically needed to go like 50 unbroken, or I needed to go like 30, take a quick break and do 20. And I was just like, nah. I just did like sets of 5 and just chilled. And it was like, that's the piece that I'm like mostly upset about, is that like I gave up on myself in a race. But we've all been there.
You know it's bad when 4x25 turns into 25x4 at the end.
Yeah, dude, it was for real.
We've
all been there.
It was not great. I was like, this is rough. So I don't know. I did talk to the easy excuse to make would be like, oh, the sleds felt really difficult, and they did. And everybody that was there said that they felt like Kent said they felt harder. My boy Jack Driscoll said they felt harder, although shout out to him. He still popped the time. Dr. Hayden Warner said they felt more difficult, but like that would just be a convenient excuse. I just didn't have it for whatever reason. It could have been my central nervous system could have been cooked from flying on back-to-back weekends. It's obviously not something that I'm used to.
You've had a lot of life happening lately, like moving.
I got a new job,
baby, new job. It's just
a baby. That's right.
Stars aren't going to align
tires, dude. Yeah. It just didn't go well. So, that's racing. It happens. I think it's also Kent had like really good perspective on it of like it wouldn't be fun if it always went great. Like it just wouldn't be.
Well, it wouldn't mean anything once you did it.
Right.
If it came easy, you wouldn't have the same reaction to when it does go well if you didn't have these difficult times. And I think for all three of us, we all train pretty consistently. The physical side of things isn't really the concern most of the time, because we know that we're progressing in training. The actual challenge most of the time is the mental side of things. And that is the most difficult barrier to get across, I think, for any stage of your athletic journey. It's just very challenging to want to push harder, especially when things don't go well. So like we all know, any of these stations can have something go wrong that you didn't anticipate, but it's up to us how we react to it and try to move forward with it to basically save the rest of the race, right? But
100%.
Sometimes it's not there. Sometimes
100%. Yeah, and that's the piece that was like hard too, is that I'm about 3.5 to 4 minutes faster on my 5K than I was when I last ran a pro. And so like I was like, okay, the one thing that's not going to fail me, like the stations might fail me because I just haven't felt, you just can't train. I don't care what anyone says, you can't properly train the sled push and sled pull. You just can't, like, at least the way it feels. And I was like, my running's not going to fail me. So that piece was like hard. But again, like there's a million factors that go into that. And you'll see me in the next 30 to 45 days. I may got something planned. I can't sit with this until the spring. So
there's only so many chances.
72.08. That was your time. You shave off 10 seconds on farmer's carry and a minute on wall balls. Even if you're a 5-minute guy on wall balls there, and then get like 5 seconds faster on all the runs, you're sub 70. So this is not too unreal.
Damn it, I'm a sub 68 guy. I'm gonna do it.
Michelle also.
Matt, let's be real. You secretly did this because you didn't want to leave Bracken alone in the over 70 club.
There's two reasons. There's two reasons why I did this. One, I'm a man of the people and I can't leave BK. The second reason is my rock op just got a hell of a lot worse, and so I'm taking that bounty.
Cha-ching.
I am taking that bounty. So yeah, I'm going to, and I'm gonna make that $100 after losing $2,000 in Dallas for a weekend of travel. All right. Anyway, enough about me. We got things we got to cover today. On today's show, we're gonna quickly recap this weekend's Hyrox races, and then we are gonna preview DEKA Fit Worlds. We had 3 races this weekend across the globe. We're gonna start with Hyrox Shanghai. Your top 5 pro men. Gabe Heck, the Scotty boy, 57-16. With all due respect to my friends in China, this name is in Mandarin. I cannot read it, but we had a
Matt. Come on, you got to do it,
dude. No, I'll get canceled. I already got canceled once this week, and I can't get canceled again. 61-48. Jack Elliott, 62-59. Pavel Polyakov, 64-14, and Johnny 2, 64-39. On to the women. We had another name in Mandarin, 66-40, and then Biddy Sefton, 69-47, Nat Elder, 70-04, and then we had 2 other names in Mandarin. This is so embarrassing, 7-52.
Matt, I've got Google Translate. I'll take one for the team. Fang Zhu won the race.
Okay, perfect. I appreciate you. Let me quickly look at the doubles times and see if any of these are going to shake up the rankings. Otherwise, we will skip them for the sake of time. None on the women's side and none on the men's.
We have lost him.
He got canceled.
He just decided to cancel himself.
Yeah.
Hit the back button on the wrong tab. Hate it when that happens. All right. We had Hyrox Bordeaux. Your top 5 men. Aitor Lizarazu Hormia, 57-17. Quentin Garrell, 58-14. Jeffrey Voisin, the ageless wonder, 58-55. Xavier Dufault, 59-05. And Cedric Amsterdam, 60-29. This will not shake up the rankings, but it does continue an impressive run by Aitor. On the women's side, your winner was Sophia Parvizi Wayne with a 62-16. Monica Ferrer-Passer, 64-44. Elisa De Silva, 66-43. Ariel Torquat, that definitely said that wrong, 67-01. And Shawnee Gibson, 67-17. On to the doubles, where we did have shakeups. But that was on the women's side. On the men's side, Tony Revel and Parkinson continue their run under 52 with a 51-53. Evan Marion and Steve Pinal, 52-29. Quentin Pinglaze and Hugo Beck, 52-51. We'll stop there because the rest would not impact the rankings. And then on the women's side, Rebecca Howard, Jezebel Kramer with a 56-48. Apolline Cardone, Lola Gomez with 58-38. Mavina Pinglaze and Anne Caroline Carpentier, 58-39. And then everybody else was up over 62. Those are your top 3 women. Jack, Rebecca Howard, and Jezebel Kramer. Your thoughts on
40
that?
plus. 40 plus.
648.
Yeah. It's really impressive. I mean, what did we see in Dallas? Not to fast forward, but top team there, 55 high.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're a minute behind.
Yep.
I don't think there are too many 40-plus-year-olds able to throw down like the 2 of them.
You know, honestly, Jezebel Kramer has been a name in this sport for a long time. The last couple of years, she has seemingly been, she's still a very respectable athlete that you have to watch out for. But if you would have asked me if I thought that this team was going to go sub 57, I would have said, I don't know, 59, 60.
Is that faster than we ran, Michelle?
What did we do? I think we were like 57:20 something.
Yeah, I think that's a little faster than us.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what, Michelle, you both are trending up, so we can't
We
count.
are.
You
wait
both
till
are up.
wait till DC. That's all I'm saying.
Look, all of race plan is
coming.
going the right way, except for your boy. You guys are going this way, so
You got to hit a speed bump to come back down.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. We got
Making it interesting.
We hit that bump. We hit that bump.
And Jezebel,
right, so
she was in Glasgow last year. She got 10th place. So as of this past season, she was still a 10th place at a major elite caliber athlete. So she's, despite being in her early mid 40s, still throwing down.
Yeah, let's see. I think that this would. I think that this time plays. It definitely plays. If they, I don't know if they'd want to or not, but they could come over for Phoenix. What did I say it was? 56-48.
48.
Yeah, the cut line is the Van and Linden loose at 56-20. However, Linda's on there a couple times.
Yeah,
and
list is so difficult.
so they might be in. They might be in. You never know. All right. On to Dallas. We will start with the women. Your first place back, Camilla Massa, 62-19. Lauren Barnett, 63-12. Chris Rogloski, 64-15. Kanda Mondragon, 64-22. And Ashley Robert with a 64-32. The story out of this one is Camilla Massa had a great race, ran relatively conservatively to the field in the first couple of runs, and then kind of just pulled away from everybody. And this is, I believe, her third fastest time of all time, and only, I want to say, like less than 30 seconds, maybe even less than 25 seconds off her PR. I think in Glasgow, she ran a 61 high. Maybe Jack can keep me honest. But
61.59. That's as high as it gets.
Okay. All right. So there you go. So she was 20 seconds off her PR. She has switched over to the hybrid engine. Camilla has been a Elite 15 athlete for a long time in the women's field and has been a threat. She had a tough season last season, but this is a pretty good statement. And what actually was this is a very competitive field. You look at some of the other names that we had in here. Obviously, Chris Rogloski, former world champion. You had Lauren Griffith in this field. Had Janelle Teal in this field, who obviously is bigger on the DEKA side, but still a high-level athlete. So, I mean, she had competition up from the front. So, very impressive performance for Camilla.
Absolutely.
25 sub 70 women at a local race. Like, this sport is getting good.
Yeah,
it's getting good. It's getting good. And honestly, it was good to see Chris. Chris ran a great race, besides the fact that she ran 4 times this weekend. So, Chris, I know that sometimes you listen to the show. Are you okay? I've got questions. But Chris ran a great race. I don't know what happened. She seemed to struggle on the row a little bit more.
5:20.
Yeah, that's not. That's just not a Chris Rogloski row. So who knows? I mean, maybe she overextended a little bit, but her run times were really solid. Which I don't know what Chris is training for or what she's doing. Chris is, she does it all. She does it all. But great race for her. And, you got to think if she wanted to go all in on Hyrox, which, maybe she does. She raced 4 times. That's like Charlie Bottrell type numbers, 4 races in a weekend.
She was the original Charlie.
That's true. That's true. All right. On to the dudes. Your top 5 men. Jack Driscoll, back-to-back weeks, 56-29. Ryan Kent, 57-22. Frederick Dubé, 57-37. Josh Ward, 58-29. And Robin Persigal with a 59-31. Shout out to friend of the show, Jack Driscoll. What a 10 days this man had. He ran in Chicago, ran a 56-23 and then a 51-09 with Ryan Douglas. And then he follows it up by going 2 seconds faster in Dallas with a 56-21. And don't forget, he hyped the crowd all the way up before he crossed the line. So he's really like a 56-17 guy. And then we'll get to this in a second, but he ran a 50-12. look, we've got Jack Bauer, who's the real deal, and we got Jack Driscoll, who's also the real deal. I mean, those are crazy back-to-back performances.
Absolutely.
I remember about 5 days after I did Atlanta about a month ago. I wasn't walking. This guy did 4 races in 10 days. I will concede that he is the number 1 Jack when it comes to Hyrox at the moment.
You heard it here first on Race Brain. We have crowned Jack 4D Fit as the number 1 Jack in Hyrox. Let it be so. I mean, I agree. I don't know how you. I mean, shout out to him. Like, the guy takes it very seriously. You could tell he takes his training very seriously. I imagine he's got to take his recovery very seriously. He's a firefighter. But 4 high-level races in 10 days. Jack, we need to get you a ice bath sponsor. You need to call the homie Rich, call up the plug, and get an ice bath for those legs.
It's not like he wasn't doing these these amount of races so close together. It just wasn't all Hyrox specific, right? And then he made, a move to do Hyrox specific and said he was going for it and he was going to figure it out. And guess what? He did very quickly. So it's extremely impressive, his trajectory and how quickly he has been able to figure out how to be competitive at the very top level. That was just an impressive 10 days.
I mean, it's great racing by him. I also respect the hell out of someone who will put it out into the universe of, like, I'm going to do this. He said he wanted to get in the Elite 15, and I think he's 21st for Phoenix. So, I mean, he's right there in roll down territory, and he's probably not done.
Say, we still got Anaheim coming up.
Still got it. We got Vancouver. That dude loves to travel.
And Michelle, you had a little update on qualification for Phoenix. You want to update people?
Yeah. Well, so for DC, this was just because we're thinking about the regional that also has a few options for elite races. And right now on Hyrox, we don't have any of the cutoff times, but you have them for all the majors, and they're typically around 3 weeks prior to the major actually happening. So I was curious myself for DC if Vegas was going to count or not, because that was 2 weeks before DC. So the cutoff time for DC is February 16th. I did confirm with Hyrox Elite. So that would mean that Vegas would not count for the major.
Other notable performances here: Ryan Kent, 57.22. That's his best performance since his 55.30 in Chicago 2 years ago. And honestly, watching him race, like, I think he's a 56 guy right now. So again, we said this last week on the show, but I would, Kent is coming back, and I'd be worried about him in that regional race. If he, depending on how it shakes out for everybody else.
He's done Dallas, Chicago solo, Chicago doubles, Atlanta, Boston early. Like, he's been racing a lot also. We were just talking about Jack Driscoll. He needs a break.
Wait till he's fresh.
Yeah, wait till he's fresh. Yeah, and he also got caught up in the flight nonsense on Friday too. He got to his hotel at 4:45 on Friday night before a 7:30 race. So no excuses. We're not making excuses. I'm just saying the guy's going to be a problem. Frederick Dubé had a 10-second PR. And then Josh Ward actually had a pretty big PR as well. I believe his previous PR prior to this was at Worlds this year. He ran a 58.57 and he just ran a 58.29. So 30 seconds off there. He's one of the first form guys. I believe that they haven't said this, but I would imagine, just knowing that the competitors they've got some goals to maybe try to snag an Elite 15 double spot with Will Grumke. So we'll see. So shout out to the boys. All right. And then we had a couple of pro doubles races that mattered on the women's side. From wire to wire, Kat Fossbender and Morgan Scholes absolutely torched, with all due respect, everybody else in the field. They finished with a blazing 55.56. Lauren Barnett and Brianna Carbonell, 57.44. Nadine Fidel and Katia Rombach with a 59.11. Taryn Lynch and Cassidy Manna, 60.04. And then Nicole Kasha and Chris Rogloski with a 60.18. Michelle, your thoughts on your friends, Kat Bospinner and Morgan Schulz, lighting the world on fire on Sunday afternoon?
It's just so cool. I was highly anticipating this race between the two of them just teaming up together. After seeing them in Chicago battling it out for the age group world championship, that was just such a fun race to watch them be so close. You had to imagine that they were going to be awesome as a duo. So, and I just saw Morgan in Chicago. We both raced the pro together there, and that was her first race back after an injury. So she didn't really know where she was going to be at, and she crushed it. So, yeah, I mean, just incredibly impressive. And I have Kat here in Jersey, so I chat with her a bit, and she's just been on a great, she's had a great season so far, and she's only going to continue to get better and better. And having Atlanta as the win just recently for her in the pro, yeah, there's nothing that these two can't do. And when they team up together, there's some magic there. We just saw it.
There's a there.
The 10th time, I think.
The 11th, but it's
11th. But you take out duplicates 6, 7.
Yeah,
they're the 7th fastest time.
Like a 55 is awesome. So good.
So good. I mean, they're going to be a problem. And I think we talk about this, like they're both fighting to get in, obviously, on the solo side. And I think that they both have a really good shot. These are two women who are very close to the cut line. And I do think that they're probably in the top 20 women worldwide. And if they ever got into a race, I don't think either one of them finishes 15th. So, but obviously it's a little bit, for whatever reason, it seems a little bit harder to get the times here in the US as all of Europe rolls their eyes. But this is a team that if they get into a doubles race, you think like they looked good.
Mm-hmm.
As a team, and there's time to be that's the first time they race together and they drop that time. There's no reason to think that they won't be competitive. I mean, this is going to be a team that is at Elite 15 at Worlds. Like, I will take out the crystal ball now, and they could be a top 5 team at Worlds.
And when you put the competition that are running right around that time or faster, you can easily get pulled as well because you're trying to compete. So I feel like with the competition that is around that time or even faster, there's no reason that they wouldn't be able to go faster than they did.
And didn't
100%.
Morgan have a post saying like, sorry if I was elbowing you, the course was super packed and stuff? Like,
oh, really?
So,
I didn't see that.
yeah. So clean up have an open course at an Elite 15. Yeah. They're going to be running a lot faster.
And like track style with these 5 or 6 lap things that they're going to keep doing. So, yeah.
Scary. All right. On to the dudes. Jack didn't even have this man in the top 5. He said he's out in the wilderness. We don't know what he's doing. Is he training? Is he still good at Hyrox? That's right. The sheriff came back to Dallas, partnered up with Jake Williamson, everybody's favorite power bottom, and ran a 48-48. Jack liked that one. It's okay. Jake's a friend. He listens to the show. He's going to laugh when he hears that. Stephen Pelkoffer and Dylan Scott with a 50-01. Ryan Douglas and Jack Driscoll a whole minute faster than a week ago with the 50-12. Josh Ward and Robin Persigal with the 52-39. And rounding out your top 5, Chase Smith and Brandon Hughes. Look, at this point, I would say that you can't, the best doubles racer has to be, as much as it pains me to say this, it's got to be Rich Ryan. He's got the 2 of the 3 fastest times. He had the open world record. He's got the record with Pelayo. He's now the 3rd fastest time with Dylan.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of him, if you go and look at the men's leaderboard, Jake Williamson is all over the top 15. I mean, this guy is collecting doubles times like it's freaking Halloween candy.
We have not seen a a lot of 48s, so that is obviously a very fast time. Extremely impressive.
Jake is the second for Phoenix. Jake is the second, the fourth, the 10th, the 14th, and the 15th fastest time.
Just making it known. He's at the top.
He's legit. Guy's legit.
One thing on that leaderboard, Matt, right there. So Jake, he teamed up with Charlie Bottrell and under 30 seconds behind Jake and Hunter. So that just shows you how fit Charlie is at the moment also.
Look, I mean, no one on this show, no one on Race Brain is questioning Charlie Bottrell's fitness. So we'll see what happens when he shows up in Melbourne. You know, the crazy thing too is Jake basically said afterwards, I think in his words were Hunter did 70% of that. I don't know what was going on with Jake. He had like a stomach issue or something else, which I want to know what it's like to have a stomach issue and be able to run those times. That must be nice. That would have been great on Friday night. But listen to their running total was 27:20 and their rock zone was 2:17, which gives them a total run time of 29:37, and their workouts sub 20, 19:11. Listen to these station times. 307 ski erg, 125 push, 234 pull, 143 burpee, 333 row, 114 farmer carry, 208 lunges, 327 wall balls.
Absurd.
So stupid.
That is bonkers.
We can't see that though in the majors because there's gotta be judges just like slowing you down. That's the only thing that I could say to those insane station times.
For sure. Yeah, I also don't know. I mean, they did have the head judge on them. I don't know what this means. I haven't asked Jake, but I don't think that this really matters because I don't think that he can. I think because he already qualified for Worlds with Allen.
Yeah, like what's the deal there if you have multiple times?
I don't know. I don't know. I would imagine that because then does it roll back to Hamburg to whoever got fourth place? I don't know. Jake, if you listen to this, I'd love to know what the plan is. He probably won't tell me. And then Steven and Dylan almost broke that sub 50. I will say, love Tommy. Tommy is the MC here in America. He needs to learn how to count down. He starts counting down 5 more from 95. And then the problem is that it actually ends at 99. And what happened was Steven did it, heard one, pushed it, and then turned, and then they pulled him back. And then he had to do one more. They would have broken 50. But anyway, impressive. I, for one, am excited to see what happens down in Melbourne. Hunter's in shape. He's in shape. So we'll see. He's gonna tell Jack to shove that up his ass, and we're gonna go from there.
That's all we wanted to see. We just wanted to see him out there racing. Like we're excited.
And he raced.
Last time I checked, Michelle also didn't have him on the board.
Yes, so like
I know. I'm just saying he did it. All right, Jack. Now. We're gonna switch over to DEKA. We're gonna cover the DEKA Fit. Jack, will you either bring up men or women wherever you want to start?
I don't have that graphic.
Oh, that's okay. I can just. All right, that's fine. Yeah, no, that's fine. Don't mind. That's fine. Okay. I am going to. Let me see what I got here. All right, we're going to talk about DEKA Fit. Why doesn't my keyboard want to work?
And that is happening December 5th to the 7th.
December 5th. Correct? We're getting close. We're getting close.
10 days.
Yeah.
All right. I'm just going to go ahead and read off your, we're going to have to audible here.
I just got it right now.
You got it? Okay.
Yep. All right. So it will be on Friday, mile on Saturday, and Sunday we'll end up having strong. All right. We'll start with the women.
All right. Let's start with the women. Question. I notoriously do not know as much about DEKA as Michelle and Jack. So I'm going to play the role of moderator here. And I got some questions for you all, and we will go ahead and jump into it. So the most notable storyline here is that Lauren Weeks will not be. She's the perennial hands down favorite. This is one that I would say go ahead and just put her name in on the trophy now. However, she will not be competing. Melbourne is a week later, and I'm pretty sure that the flights in order for her to get from Florida over to Melbourne were going to be, it was going to be something ridiculous, like 36 plus hours of travel. Obviously, at this point in her career and with everything else, it's more beneficial for Lauren to do Hyrox than DEKA, although it's always fun to see her tear up the DEKA course. So she is out. So that makes this, we would have, if I keep me honest here, Jack and Michelle, but we're going to crown a new DEKA Fit world champion, right? No one on here has won DEKA Fit before.
Yeah, because Morgan was previously
2 years ago.
Yeah.
And then we had last year, Lauren Weeks won with the 31.51.
Right.
Kat Fossbender was second with a 32.46.
Mm-hmm.
So
all right. So then my first question for you, for the sake of discussion, is: can anyone beat Kat Fossbender in this race?
I mean, she's definitely the front runner coming in. And
I mean, 2 minutes, is that the largest gap we've ever had between a PR and the rest of the field, Jack?
But I don't think that these went like
this is no disrespect to those athletes. This is no disrespect to those athletes. I'm just saying this is like a Lauren Weeks Hyrox gap pre-Meg.
Well, and so to put it into perspective, I'm pretty sure Lauren Griffith in the past has had a 33 low time as her PR. So I know that she's capable of that. And we're also just seeing some really fast times on the Hyrox side from certain people like Brooklyn Nichols, who just ran a 61 in Chicago, and she is listed in this. So I'm not going to sleep on her either. Her times have been incredibly just like huge jumps in fitness. So,
but my question to you, Michelle, would be how do we think that translates 3 weeks later, right? Because we've seen this before where it doesn't seem like, or wait, what did we decide? Did we decide that Hyrox training to DEKA applies better than DEKA training the other way?
Yeah, I mean, if you're training for Hyrox specifically, you're going to have a much better time performing in DEKA, not the other way around. But I think that more so than anything, even just from my own like journey going from Hyrox and DEKA, you just have to have a different mindset of like, this is not let's manage our way through this effort. This is like full out sprint almost. Like you're at anaerobic, not like threshold here. And so I think when people like dive into that and are capable of continuing at like a really high output, like these women are, they can just do well, even though they're training specifically for Hyrox. So, I think Brooklyn is actually a really great example of that. I think she just knows how to flip the switch for whatever she's in, and why we're seeing her have a lot of success, even in like road races for her as well. Like she just kind of switches to whatever she's doing. But Kat Fossbender is just like on a roll right now. She's on fire. So I definitely think that she is still the woman to beat in this field.
Well, last year, Brooklyn Nichols, she didn't run fit individuals. She did fit ruck, and she ran like 38 minutes or so. And then she got fourth in mile, second in strong, all elite. The year before that, she swept age group, everything. So her trajectory has been going up. And as Michelle mentioned, she just ran a pretty fast half marathon recently.
Do we know what Kat's strong time is? The reason why I'm asking, I just looked at the last two races that Kat and Brooklyn have run, and they're in Hyrox specifically, but their run time is like pretty similar. So this could come down to, like, to your point, Brooklyn's her running has been strong. So it could come down to whose station's better. And I don't know, has Kat done a strong?
You can look at the individual splits, but I'd have to pull that up. But she went 18:50 in mile. So she's probably like mid 13s at worst for DEKA strong. So she can station.
I think
But-
honestly, her skill set on both like the running and the station side is so balanced. I think that she's just an incredible like athlete in both the DEKA and Hyrox. Her skills are great on both sides. So yeah, I would imagine that her stations will be still just as strong.
19:16 for her run, 13:53 for her strong mid race when she won with her fastest time this year.
Yeah. So what's interesting here is you've got like quite the bunch up between 3 and 7.
That's
right?
gonna be good.
We're talking about 18 seconds. So my question for the two of you is, which athlete is the most dangerous for the podium if the race stays tight late?
I'm trying to think of who races like stronger at the end. I almost want to. I would say Katie Duke is definitely like someone who does this very consistently. I feel like she's very much into like training for DEKA and all of like both strong and mile as well. Like her station times are unbelievably impressive. She might have some of the faster station times because
She's nasty on
she's
burpees.
she's just so efficient with all of those, and I think that plays to her benefit when she's racing against these other women. I don't know if her run times are as strong, but I think that's where she makes it up. I think her stations are much more impressive. And Janelle Teal, I would say, is also someone else that would be way up there. Her stations probably are only going to get stronger towards the end. So I think she would be someone to make like a last minute move. And I feel like she kind of has been. In one race that she raced Tara Jackson this year, I'm pretty sure she was like leading the entire race up until the very end. So those are the names that I would call out as well that would probably make a move towards the end.
Yeah, there's nobody in the field that sticks out to me that has more DEKA experience than Katie Duke and Janelle Teal. And at a championship, that matters.
Yes.
Right. Like it's going to matter. There's going to come a point in the race where the fact that they've just been there before so many times is going to matter. Jack, what were you going to say?
Katie's split on ramp burpees was 63.9 last year, and Lauren Weeks was 77.6. I know that Lauren had a lead, but Katie across the field, no one else is sub 70. So she's got easily probably close to 10 seconds on pretty much everybody. You do not want her near you.
Katie Duke is one of the nicest human beings that you will ever have the pleasure of talking to or meeting. I am genuinely terrified every time I see her do a ram burpee. The way that she attacks the ground and the burp and the ram, I think the ram is hurt by the time it's over. I think it's like she is beating the ever living shit out of that ram, taking that thing to the ground. So I don't disagree.
I'm just looking at another thing in that group. So third place, Luxembourg. Fourth place, Australia. A few U.S. Athletes. Spain, Australia again. A couple more from Spain. So like we're actually having some decent international presence. I know that we're missing Lauren and Morgan and Tara at the top, who traditionally would be close to there. But I think Kat's asserted herself in the conversation where no matter who shows up, she can podium. But I think it's kind of cool that you're having multiple countries at this point.
Well, the interesting thing too is like, unlike how we see in Hyrox, where we see people from all over traveling, it doesn't matter where you are. We see in the US people from all different countries racing in, normal weekly races. You don't see that in DEKA typically. You're going to see everyone do their own DEKA races in their country. And then the one time that you get to see everybody together is at the World Championship. So I think it's going to be interesting because obviously these times are super close to your point, Matt, like from 3 to 7, we're in the 34s, like seconds. So that comes down to race strategy. And if you're going to, cave or not at that point when you see someone else next to you, or if you're going to take advantage of that and push through. So it'll be cool to see, people from different countries come in and compete against these top women from the US.
Yeah, shout out DEKA. We're getting more of a global appeal. Okay, so my question for you all is, we'll say Kat Fossbender is the favorite. We will not put her in Lauren Weeks' favorite category of just put her name on it, but she is the heavy favorite. So your predictions, Michelle and Jack, if there is going to be an upset, who is it going to be and how is it going to happen? Because you're not going to outrun Kat.
Jack?
I don't think there's going to be an upset. The only thing that happened, she like slipped on Farmer's Carry last year or a couple years ago. That's like the only.
Not going to happen.
I think that her fitness is on a different level at the moment. Do I think that some women will make it interesting for a while?
All right, so for the sake
Yes,
of conversation,
no.
Jack, if it's going to happen, how does it happen? Are we
bike.
talking like
Somebody destroys the air bike and she has a bad day
and is able to hang on?
It's probably the only way that I see it happening.
Yeah, I feel like Brooklyn can be a really solid competitor here. And like I said, I'm not gonna sleep on Lauren Griffith. She's had a really awesome PR. They're like the closest, I would say, to Kat. So I wouldn't count her out either. And if someone like Janelle crushes that what's it called? The bike and like the sleds and everything else that comes afterwards. Yeah. I don't know.
I do want to give Lauren Griffith some credit though, real quick, because we didn't talk about this and we're not going to talk about this on a macro level, the way that I talked about it on social media and got slapped for it over the weekend. But she got dealt a bad hand at Hyrox Dallas. That's all I'm going to say. If you want to know what I'm talking about, why don't you just go look at her Instagram post and see for yourself. She got some tough sleds, but her running was really strong. She came out. Jack and I figured out that the Dallas course is basically perfect 1Ks, slightly on the lower side, probably like 985 meters, but basically 1Ks. She had very tough sleds and she rebounded. Her run 3 was 355. Her run 4 was 356. After burpees, she ran 354 and she stayed 350s the whole time. That's one of Lauren's strengths. I don't know what it's going to be like in 3 weeks, how much sharpening she's going to do, but you couldn't count her out, certainly.
She is a very bold racer, and you absolutely need that fire in you for a DEKA Fit intensity. So yeah, I think she'll have a great race here too.
Yeah, I totally agree. She actually did a teams race with Kevin Gregory and Glenn Race and myself. We ended up facing them and they beat us. Like she was really, really fast.
She's very fast. Yeah. Road racer as well, like just incredible times.
Yeah. One other thing on the air bike. So you had Tanya and Katie and Kat Fossbender were all like 213 last year. Janelle was 159 on the air bike. So there's a 15-second swing right there. Yeah. And I feel as though Janelle has really improved her running. And she was leading a Hyrox with a couple weeks ago, like from the start. But she is not afraid to go to the front either. So
no,
I think this second through third battle or second through seventh realistically is going to be incredible.
Yep.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great. All right, Jack, you want to bring up the men?
Let's do it.
On the men's side,
one scratch.
The big storyline here is that the fastest time of the season, Tom Rogers, is not going to be able to race. He's dealing with an injury. So then that leaves us with your top 5 men coming in. You're going to be Grayson Kilgore, Isaac Sanderson, Ryan Kent, Aitor Lizarazu, and Cole Walkington. I will ask you all the same question. This seems to be the year that Grayson is going to do it. So if Grayson is not going to do it, who's the person most likely to take him down?
I would say it's going to be your coach, Matt.
Ooh, going with Ryan Kent, huh?
I also like the top 3 right there. Like it could be either any of those. Isaac is also very impressive in DEKA. So yeah, it's funny because I feel like we haven't, I don't know, maybe this just hasn't been on my radar as much, but I feel like we haven't seen times pop up. So I don't know where everyone's at, but yeah, I don't know.
The Riker line's still sitting there at 32.
Yeah.
Oh, Nick Riker's finishing better than 32. That was in that hot North Carolina race.
That's right.
He's fitter than that, I could tell you. And if he's listening, he's motivating all of his kids at school. He's a cross-country coach, and all the kids are motivated by his running, he claims.
Jack, if someone gets Grayson, who do you think it's going to be? I mean, to me, it seems like this is Grayson's year.
I got money on Isaac. I went running with him maybe 1 week ago. We did the Manitou incline, which is not, that does not transfer to DEKA Fit. There's elevation. You're climbing 2,000 feet in under a mile.
Fitness is fitness, though.
Yeah, we did that twice, and his second time was like 24:30-ish or so, which is flying, especially on the second part of a workout. And just how he looked in Austin when I was down there, he's just an athlete and moves really, really well. But I know that he does a lot of sharpening with some 400s and stuff. So he's got turnover and fitness, and he was sub 30 twice, maybe 3 times last year. I think that he'll be a threat.
Yeah, all right, so we got to vote for Isaac. We got to vote for Kent. I think we feel pretty comfortable that your podium is going to be some combination of Grayson, Sanderson, and Kent. So then I guess
Riker. I think
right,
Nick
Riker, all right.
from
Okay, well, hold on. If you let me ask my second question, my second question was going to be: is there a dark horse that maybe we're not paying attention to that could shake that up? Jack, is your vote Nick Riker?
I think there are 2, but Nick Riker would be the one who I would say will finish above. I also think number 5, Cole Walkington, is a beast at some of these stations. You don't want him near you closing a race.
Yeah, I mean, Cole is also, he's still young, right? I mean, he competes in the 16 to 24 Chicago age group. I don't know how old he is exactly, but he's been on an impressive run lately. He ran a 62.59 in Chicago. He ran a 62.11 in Toronto. Followed that up with the Chicago race 2 weeks ago, running a sub 59, ran a 58.56. So, I mean, his fitness is definitely there, and he's on the young side. Like, he could be our American Charlie Bottrell. You never know. A lot of people saying it.
Well, I'm going to say a dark horse could be number 4 on this list, Ator, because didn't he just win a Hyrox? I'm not
57
mistaken?
low.
Yeah, 57 low.
So,
Ator is a good racer.
Yeah, and like, again, we don't see anyone from other countries until the World Championships compete against everybody. So I wouldn't sleep on him, especially once he gets into a race setting. Any time around that is impressive. So I think we're going to see some fast times once we see everybody together.
For sure.
Itor was 6th place last year, and he finished ahead of Cole. He finished ahead of Magida, who had a couple of podiums previous years at DEKA Fit World Champs. So I think he'll probably be the top international athlete since Tom Rogers, who was planning on coming over, has the injury.
For sure. My money personally is on is going to be on Grayson. I think that
just ran a 55 Hyrox.
Yeah, that 50. That's what I'm saying. That 55 that he ran, I think probably unlocked something for him, both mentally and physically, that maybe he didn't know was there. The guy, I mean, at this point, him and Katie Duke are like, I mean, they are DEKA Fit royalty. I feel like this is Grayson's year. He's going to take it. I mean, could he be beat? Sure. Anybody can be beat if they don't have their day and someone else does, but it just feels like this is trending as Grayson's race. But you know what? The real hard-hitting question that the people want to know is, Jack Bauer, how is number 15 on this list going to do? What's your ceiling? What's your floor? What's Jack Bauer finishing at in this race?
I'm not going to have heat stroke again like I did in Austin, basically.
We like that.
These mid-afternoon races in September in Texas that didn't treat me too well.
Rough.
So good thing we're going to Florida and having an afternoon race. No, realistically, I think after Atlanta, those two were within like a month and a half or so of each other. I improved a lot fitness-wise between then, and I've been doing a little bit of sharpening for DEKA. I think somewhere in like the 3140s or so, right around like Lucas Garrett, Mark Polzine. I think that's like the area where I should finish.
Let's go top 10.
Let's go. Yeah. Let's get a top 10 finish. Let's get a top 10 finish for your boy Jack.
My best is 11th, so we'll see. I think I was like 11, 14, and 14 or something, 13, something like that.
I think I was 10. That was my no. That was in the very early ones when there were only like 9 people racing. I think I was 8.
I am buying.
Last year you were 12.
Yeah.
I am buying Jack Bauer stock. Jack, I believe in you.
Me too.
All right. Unfortunately, I have to hop because I got a new job. So this is not my day job, for those of you who don't know. So I'm going to leave it to Jack and Michelle to quickly cover the men's and women's fit and strong. Besides, they know way more about these.
Strong.
Yeah, sorry, mile and strong. They know way more about these athletes than I do. So you're going to want them anyway. And then I will go ahead and Jack and Michelle, whenever you're done, I will end it for you all. But appreciate everybody as always. Like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments where I got it right and where I got it wrong. Michelle and Jack always get it right, but you just come at me in those comments. I'll take them.
Matt, I got a 5-second question for you. DEKA Fit going to Navy Pier next year. Will you be there?
It may be in the cards for me to do a DEKA Fit. Yes.
Gotta see it.
We'll be out there. We'll be out there. All right.
Later, Matt.
See ya. All right, just us. I'll just move the screen over.
He's gonna leave the race brain crew, mixed doubles, talking on the pod.
We'll go to DEKA Mile.
Let's do Mile first.
Yep. So on the women's side, Nadia Fedorova, 18:43. I believe that's actually the world record. She said it earlier in Australia, 7 seconds ahead of Kat Fossbender.
Yeah, wow.
1907, Brooklyn Nichols just behind. Zoe O'Meara also coming over from Australia. Same race. She ran that 1914. And then a little bit of a gap between Katie Duke, Tanya Thies, Ellie Zartman, Erica Zazara, and Janelle Teal, all of who are in that 1940 to 1950-ish range. So pretty close battles for the 5th through 9th seed. It looks like there's a little bit of a gap towards the front. The thing that I always get a little worried about is when people who we don't really know pop off an amazing time in a local gym event. Did they just have a really good setup, or are they the real deal? We'll find out here.
Yeah, that's always the kicker with the mile and the strong times. I feel like they never really meant that much until we got to the World Championship, where everyone is running the same exact course. So to your point, you can have gym setups that are drastically different, especially for the mile. If you got some crazy turns that you have to do, it could, add or decrease time. So this is the only time that we're going to get to see everyone compete against each other. So I feel like if there are times within like 20 to 30 seconds of each other, that means that they're pretty close when it comes to the same exact course setup. But these are some fast times. I don't remember seeing 2:18s. I feel like these are really, really fast in comparison to previous years.
Totally, yeah. I'll pull up last year's results. So the winner, Tara Jackson, was 2010.
Wow,
Second place, Janelle, 2030, and she went out with Tara.
Right. Yeah.
Will we probably see a lot of these athletes who are in the high 19s probably drop into the mid 20s? Yes, just due to the layout. But as you mentioned, if you're at a gym event within 15, 20 seconds of your competition, you are a similar caliber athlete. Last year, Janelle getting second, Katie Duke third, fourth, Brooklyn Nichols, sixth, Tanya Thies. And Bree Schrader was in seventh. So you've got like 5 of the top 7 coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Who's your money on?
I mean, again, Kat is going to be hard to not call out. She, her times are just standalone right now on the leaderboard, but Brooklyn's in there too, and we know that she can do multiple races in a weekend, so she's got to be up there. Janelle has to be up there, taking second last year and giving Tara a run for her money. And Katie, of course, like again with the run time, like being only a mile and the stations being more prominent for the mile, you can't ever count her out too. So it's going to be exciting. And a few of these women are doing both mile and fit. So, and probably some in the strong, we'll see.
Yeah, pretty much all the ones that I mentioned were already in fit. So, and we saw Kat Fossbender this past weekend in Dallas. She proves that she can double. We know that Brooklyn can, doing all those events last year.
Oh, yeah.
Katie Duke, I believe she's doing like 6 events, or Grayson definitely is.
With all the teams.
Yeah, co-ed. So Katie's probably doing at least 4, but if not, she's doing all 6.
Yeah.
But so she'll be tired at this point. She'll only have 2 races under her belt, but that'll be interesting. She was the 3rd podium spot last year. But But yeah, I would say Kat Fossbender is probably the heavy favorite, but I'm really intrigued to see how Nadia does from Australia, especially given the long travel beforehand. We've seen that makes the difference traditionally in Hyrox. Australians travel better than Americans, though.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I'm excited to see, a really fast time coming over. It'll be great to have the competition. So, yeah, excited to see it.
Who's your money on?
I would say Kat's got this one too. Yeah, I think she's going to come out strong in this weekend.
I think Kat, Janelle, and then it's going to be a toss up between Brooklyn and Nadia. But Nadia's not in. Oh wait, is she in Fit? I forget if we named her.
She is.
Yeah, she's the 4th seed. Oh man. Okay, so everyone's tired. But yeah, I'll give the edge to Brooklyn only due to travel at this point.
Yeah. It's gonna be tough. It's always difficult, but that means it's gonna be great races. So looking forward to it. And
on the men's side, huge gap between 1-2 versus 3. Grayson Kilgore 16:51, Ryan Kent 17:02. Back in the day, we saw those amazing battles between Ryan and Rylan. Just we saw Rylan and Grayson team up and just push each other on DEKA Mile so many times. And I think that this is the style event where if you have 2 people just going head to head, throwing haymakers, you will see ridiculous times. And I believe that it's going to come down to maybe 2 burpees between the 2 of them. They're not going to let each other out of sight.
Absolutely. Yeah. When you get less and less in terms of the amount that you have to do for these races, it just gets more and more close, and just like people are pushing it to their absolute limit. So I feel like you just have no idea what's going to happen, but it's going to be explosive one way or another. And these guys are going to get the most out of each other. I'm excited to see both Grayson and Kent in this lineup, because that's going to be a tough duo at the top here.
And similarly on the men's side, last year we had a few people finish 21 to 23 minutes, which shouldn't get you into worlds on the men's side in the elite heat, yet they were having sub 19 for their gym event time. So we'll see if there's a little bit of carryover or copying of that. But my guess is you're going to see Grayson and Ryan sub 18, couple guys in the 18s, probably Cole, Chaz, Alex, maybe Lucas, and then you'll see a bunch of guys in the low 19s.
Yeah, should be good.
Who's your money on?
I feel like Grayson might have this one.
See, I'm going Ryan on this one. I think that this one's going to mean a lot to him. But I do think it's going to be separated by like 3.
The Fit is the only one that Kent doesn't have, right? Because he's won the mile before, or has he won the?
I don't think he has Fit yet.
Right. So yeah, I don't know. That's why I think that he's got the Fit, because that's what his eye is on.
Because we had Rich, Rylan, and Dylan for the 3 fits.
Yep.
So yeah, that's the one trophy that's missing. But Kent shows up to DEKA. He's pretty much a lock on the podium, individual events historically.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think considering Grayson will have done Fit and Fit teams the night before, I think that Fit team might make the difference just at the end of this. But
that's fair.
That's going to be one of the best battles we see all weekend.
Yeah.
All right, DEKA Strong. Number 1 seed, Brooklyn Nichols, who last year she was like 0.4 seconds behind Tara. I think that there was like a lean at the line.
I remember being in, like, seeing it in person. It was crazy.
And Raquel Fairs, she was 12:57, so about 5 seconds behind Brooklyn. And look at this, she's 4 seconds behind her as a seed. So that's going to be cool. another super tight battle. 3rd place, Mariessa McCulloch, Kayla Cidadano, and Tanya Teese coming over from Luxembourg with her 3rd solo race of the weekend. So she's going to be pretty tired at that point. What else are you seeing in the field?
I was going to say, Janelle, like, she's in there. I like, it's so difficult with these times because it's not the same course, but she's got to be up there for the podium as a threat, as well as Katie Duke in 7th there. But again, like, if they're doing multiple races, which we know they are, like, you just never know how you're going to feel. But these women can rally. I have faith in them.
Yeah, last year, Mariessa, who's got a 12:45 right there, she ended up finishing in 15:20. So something must have happened. I think that Strong is the event where if you get caught up in the shining lights and like everyone going super fast like they would in their local gym events, that's where you fall into a trap. And
Yeah.
I feel like this is the event going out just a little too fast. You're going to pay the price. Not to say that that'll happen again. Obviously, you do a 12:45, you're a ridiculous athlete, but we have seen that happen to some athletes there. But in my opinion, 1-2, Brooklyn, Raquel. I don't think Raquel's doing solo events. Brooklyn, she's presumably got 2 to 4 events before this. Do you think that Raquel can have the upset?
I was gonna say she definitely has a shot. Absolutely. I mean, I think she has a shot regardless of whether or not they had more races. These are really close times. So and the fact that she did so well last year only means that this year is going to be that much better. So I would say that it's absolutely a possibility.
My opinion, I think that Brooklyn's going to take home the win. She was under half a second away from winning last year. Got out leaned by Tara. I think that she's going to want it. But it'll be another burpee off between her and Raquel, and I would love to see another woman make that a triple burpee off at the end.
Yeah, I'm putting my money on Brooklyn regardless. She is one of the gutsiest athletes that I've raced, so I feel like she's going to pull this one out.
Yep. And the final race on the men's side, we have the number 1 seed Jacopo de Pra from Italy. Alexander Golik running a 17:42. Jacopo was 11:17, so 25 seconds faster. Cole Walkington in third, 11:43. Kevin Gregory, 11:51, and Christopher Von Hoff, who got second last year, 11:53. But look at how dense these times are. Between fourth place, you have 11:51 all the way to ninth, 12:02. So 11 seconds between those 6 athletes right there.
Yeah. Anybody's
in the race.
Yeah, and I was going to say Grayson decided not to do this one, I guess, or I'm assuming that he had a fast time, but if he's got like 6 races already, or no, he's there. He's on 14th.
Yeah, I was like, he's there, but this is one of those.
Yeah, it's just again, like it's strange to me, but I was just thinking as we were talking about this, the setup for the Strong last year at World Championships was so cool, just doing like station after station and basically like running 2 steps to get to the next one. It was just a great indication of where everyone was at and how competitive everyone was. So once again, I feel like these times are going to be difficult to understand, and I feel like it's going to be much closer than what these times are kind of signaling to us. But I don't know how many of team races Kevin Gregory is going to have under his belt, but you got to watch out for him. He might pull this one out.
But last year, would you agree that was probably the biggest shocker in the building? It was like, what? He's not ahead at this point. And then Colin Stiefer actually took home the win 0.8 seconds ahead of Christopher Von Hoff. Which was
honestly so cool. It was really cool to see.
And
pull it off.
And Christopher, actually, Newington, New Hampshire, that's like right near where I went to college. So I guess I should cheer for him a little more. But anyway, Christopher getting second place, but he was in the lead heading into burpees, if I remember right. He is running DEKA mile, so there might be some fatigue right there. But this is like really tough to call. And we're overlooking Jacopo. Last year, he had a mid-11 time, if I remember right, and then ended up dropping a 14:05. So another example where it's like, maybe this is the year that he pulled it together. He got a little caught up in the fast start last year and just kind of runs his own race this year and does better.
Totally.
On paper, he should be the heavy favorite. But
I was going to say, you can't deny like an almost 30-second swing here, so like that has to stand for something regardless of with whether or not the courses are different. So he's got to be up for a podium threat, but I don't know. I'm pulling for Kevin Gregory here. I think he's gonna get it this time.
You think he wants redemption?
Yeah. I think he does.
And his protege Alexander Golik, I think that he's part of Underdog Fitness. He's running a lot of races this weekend, very fit. 11:42, faster than Cole Walkington, who we just saw how fast he went in Hyrox, dropping a sub 59 in Chicago. So got a lot of fit people. And this is one of those ones where we saw Rich Ryan, for instance, get a podium a few years ago in DEKA Strong, where you'd think this is just a strength event, but in reality, this is a 11, 12-minute event. It's still who's got a bigger engine at the end of the day, because all these guys are going to be good at the air bike.
Yes. Yeah. And, like as much as, it is a shorter race, I do think there is some strategy that you still have to, dial in a little bit. You can't like completely blow up in the beginning unless your fitness can really allow you to hold on. But it'll be tough in a race like this, like you said, like 11, 12 minutes long. It's still a long race. You kind of have to know what you're capable of here. So this should be exciting with this field.
I think Christopher Lahnhoff, after losing by under a second, kind of the same logic that I had with Brooklyn, I think that this is the year he's going to pull it off.
All right. Well, we shall see. Be a big weekend. Yeah. And I'm sure we'll see some epic, what's it called? Doubles setups, both like co-ed or any of those. It'll be interesting. And I'm pretty sure they're the same, right? So all of the teams events are at the end of each day. So yeah, like DEKA Fit will be in the morning, and then DEKA Fit teams will be at the end of that same day.
East Coast time, it's roughly 11 a.m. For men and women for solo races for Fit, and I want to say within an hour of that. Just go on the OCR report. You'll, I believe they're doing coverage again, and just click subscribe, and then you'll get the notification when it's going to start. But Friday Fit, Saturday Mile Strong on Sunday, not this weekend, but following weekend, December 5th through 7th.